So now we're standing in the old facility that was actually in use. Bob, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here?
Sure. What you've got are, you'll recall from the plant, we had the large white vessels that actually had the sand inside of them. What you're looking at right now are the filters, the sand filters. These are open air vessels compared to what we have over there, and as you can see, they're a fraction of the size. On top of that, they just use standard old sand compared to the media that we have over there. So just a quick look at these shows you how inefficient they are compared to what we had before. You can see that the control panel is obviously well past its prime. We've got all kinds of exposed conduits, so it was high time to let this system move on to a different place and bring the new one in.
And Mayor, how long has this particular facility been in operation?
This plant came online in 1938. We had one other one that was before that in 1921, and now we are also using another plant that was sharing the duties with this one that was built in 1972. Now, these two plants together couldn't keep up with the water production that we needed, which this new plant is going to be able to do. And this system was actually in service up until about 3 to 4 weeks ago.
Now, I'm not experienced at this, but you're telling me that the facility that we're looking at right now, as rough as it looks, was actually producing drinking water for the city just a few weeks ago?
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, I've been the mayor and alderman for the last 8 years, and this problem was existing in the early 90s, and it just continued to grow and grow till the people in the community couldn't stand it anymore. And that's a big part of the reason why I think a lot of people elected me as mayor to come in and help get this job done. And what we did, we started immediately. We made the rate adjustments to make us eligible for the grant process. And we come along at a time right when American Recovery Investments Act was just getting involved, and we were actually ahead of the curve. We had some plans that was drawn up from years ago, and they were just top shelf, and nobody had really looked at them. We kind of got together with Marvin Nesbitt with Schultz and Summers, and we really just kind of took another look at it and seen what options were out there. I took and went with Mr. Leonard Plunkett, and we got together and just really decided this is the plan, this is the project we need to go with. We took and we had already bought all the property here to make sure that we had the land ready. And with the help from Schultz and Summers, we put together a good project that would really replace what we were using. We had to use two old facilities. One was built in 1938, the other was built in 1972. And both of those plants together meant double electricity, double the chemicals, and double the labor to continue to maintain and do it the proper way. We plan on saving around $50,000 a year, if not more, just in electrical bills and the cost of not having a night man, which is basically $30,000 a year. And we're cutting this all out of the budget so that we'll be able to invest it back into improving the rest of the infrastructure with our sewer and water mains out throughout our system. We're very happy with everything, the inspection, the crew, everything around here has went just exceptionally well.
If all of my clients were able to come together as a group to solve little issues that come up as happens with any project, like they have here in Hayti, my job would be much easier. So it's been a very enjoyable time to be down here. I think we've delivered a quality product, and as we've seen throughout the day, we've had many people come up to us, thanking the city for their foresight to make a project like this come together.
I would like to really thank Schultz and Summers for they were instrumental as far as being able to get out and get the information out to the people. Marvin himself, he got out and brought signs here to town that were painted up and ready to go, that were able to be placed at the polling areas. We were really just, they held our hands through the whole process and made sure that everything went as smooth as possible. And it was a great part of their efforts that made that happen. There's always a couple of meetings for public hearings to get public input. I believe the first couple Marvin probably sat in on, and Bob came in after that. Each of them did a superb job of explaining where we were currently at and why we were looking at needing to do this process, and also what it was going to take, because we did have to have a rate increase with our water rates. and that was something that was brought into play to try to get to the 2% of median household income. And I think the Schultz and Summers family was very instrumental in trying to help making sure this went as smooth as possible. So it was a problem in the community that people have been dealing with for such a long time. They were anxious. They didn't care if you had to pay a little bit more, but as long as the water got fixed, and that's where we were at. I think we're at a situation now where the people are happy. They're happy. I'm having people come up to me and tell me, I'm drinking water straight out of the tap now. And this is not something that they've done for decades now. So we're very excited and positive about all the positive returns. And I think that is something that you can always look back at the Hayti people here. They're always willing to step up and do what's needed to be done, and they did it in this instance. But again, thanks to the leadership of what Schultz and Summers did for us, it made it easy. It made it easy for me being a first-year mayor, because when we came in 07, that's when we began this project, and I was first year as mayor, and I think I know how to do everything, but you'll find out you don't until somebody's sitting there guiding you through it, and they were very instrumental in doing that. They really did more than their share on it, again, guiding us. We're a small town, small community, and what they did and got out and pushed and made this happen. It was very important that when the R money came available, that we were already there in line, ready, and had everything going. The entire plan, the project was laid out and ready to go, and that's all thanks to Schultz and Summers and their due diligence in the project.